Hello, everyone. It's me, Mrs. Cubbage, and today is Etiquette class with Mrs. Cubbage. That's right. Etiquette class with Mrs. Cubbage is sponsored by Vibrant Souls Health and Wellness. You can follow them on Instagram or you could email them at vibrantsouls@gmail.com. Etiquette class with Mrs. Cubbage begins right now. Well, it has been a little bit of time since our last etiquette class, but that is okay because now we are back on track. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the key to lifelong etiquette or manners. Now we'll get into the difference between manners and etiquette, though both very, very similar, but we will get into that at a later date. But the key to lifelong manners is to start at a very young age. Now, in preparation for this particular episode, I was curious to find out what people thought that, because I always knew that at a very young age, my parents and grandparents had my sister and myself and our cousins learning about proper etiquette and manners. But I was curious to know, how young is young? When do you really start? So I decided to do a little research on that. And those of you who follow all of our shows know that I am a research junkie. I'm researching things all the time. And I found out from Micah Meyer, the founder of Beaumont Etiquette, says that training in manners and etiquette could start as soon as a child begins talking. That is correct. So that made me think because, as you know, I am a teacher, and my preschoolers that I have in my class are 3 and 4 years old. But many of them do have younger siblings. Some of my parents there have recently had babies. And when I say recently, my most recent family baby that came into the world was last week. So I have some very small little people that I am around. And however, I will say this, I do have several of the kids in my class who have younger siblings that are just learning to talk, and some that are just a little bit over, a little bit over the hump, being able to say things, which is unbelievable to me. Like a little person being able to say Cubbage just makes me laugh, and to say it properly, which is absolutely amazing. I don't think that I was able to say Cubbage properly until Sam C and I became really, really good friends, really, really good friends. And I'm like, okay, what is the proper way to say this name? I've never heard of this. And it's Cubbage, just as you read it right there, Cubbage. So and of course, with an interesting name like that, you want to put your own spin on it. Cubbage, 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 but no, Cubbage. That's what. And it's fascinating that when the parents teach even their smaller ones how to say Cubbage. They can, and it is amazing. And they'll say, tell Mrs. Cubbage bye-bye. Bye-bye, Cubbage. So they're already starting the children off right. So I would have to agree with Micah Meyer, the founder of Beaumont Etiquette. I agree that as soon as a child begins to speak, start teaching them things like please, thank you when they ask for something. When at dinner, they can start to begin learning dinner etiquette, things of that nature. So you could always start them off at a very young age. So I thank Micah Meyer and the Beaumont Etiquette group for that information that I found. I think I agree that it is the key to lifelong manners. If you start very young, again, I don't know how old I was when I started learning please and thank you. And of course, that was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And I myself, though manners for so many have gone by the wayside, I myself, though somewhat young, getting older, I prefer my students to say please and thank you. I know a lot of people are like, you don't have to say please and thank you. No, you must. If you're in my class, no wonder what class of mine you're in. It could be an art class, it could be a cooking class. You should say please and thank you. And if you don't say it to me, I'm going to say, and Mrs. Cubbage just gave you some art supplies. What do you say when somebody gives you something? Thank you. Right. And now Mrs. Cubbage gets to say something nice back to you. You're welcome. And you just keep putting that into their head, because I've noticed many little ones nowadays, and maybe even more so since the pandemic, maybe, they're not used to saying please and thank you. They're just used to getting what they want right now. And it is up to us, as those who are bringing these young people up, it is up to us to teach them proper etiquette and proper manners. So we'll stop right there, and I want you to think about it. And I want you to go out there. I want you to start doing some of those same things. If you see a young person that isn't using the pleases and the thank yous, well, I said, I gave you this. What is the nice thing to say to me so that I feel really good about giving you something? Oh, thank you. That's right. Now I get to say something nice back. You're welcome. So thank you so much for joining me for Etiquette class. Make sure you like, click, share, and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up on this show if you liked it. I would really, really appreciate it. And make sure you come back on Saturday. Actually, you could come back on Friday and check out what I'm going to be cooking in the kitchen. But make sure you come back for our live show. That's right, for our live show Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Thank you so much. Have an amazing Wednesday. If you're in an area like ours that is supposed to be rainy and wet, oh my goodness, please be careful while you're out and about. Have an amazing day, everyone. And make sure you show everyone your proper etiquette. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.